Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Me First Mornings. I'm your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Rivera Wolfson, and I'm here to motivate and inspire you to create a daily routine that helps you calibrate and elevate your energy. Number 2, connect with your inner guidance. And number 3, navigate your challenges with ease and grace. Wouldn't that be lovely? I'll let you know when I figure out how to do it. Okay, welcome to today's show, everyone. Today we are going to talk about momentum. So yesterday, we talked about the 7 different channels that the Me First method focuses on, right? So the Me First method is an acronym, MEFIRST. And so those are the 7 channels, the 7 sort of aspects of our life that are important to manage, and where it's sort of little outlets where we can tweak our energy, right? We talk a lot about focus, we talk a lot about frequency, we talk a lot about vibration, right? And we are energetic beings, right? We vibrate at a certain level, and that's really important for us to know. Number 1, that's who we are and what we do, and number 2, that we can shift and change that vibration, which will in turn shift and change our frequency, and that will influence what we have access to. What we see, what we experience in our lives is connected to our frequency, the frequency at which we vibrate. And now every single being, every single species, every single thing on this planet vibrates at its own frequency, right? And I said this yesterday, and once again, I want to remind you that the frequency at which you vibrate is not a reflection of whether you are good or bad, or, more worthy or less worthy, or you're going to manifest or not manifest. Like, those things don't exist in that sense, because the universe doesn't have judgment like that. What it is the frequency that you vibrate at is the frequency that you are in and that you have access to. Yesterday, I described it like an elevator, right? What floor are you on? But you can look at it in nature, and I like to use nature. The other 2 analogies that I use are nature and instruments, right? So let's go with the nature analogy for the moment. You have an animal like the elephant, right? And the elephant is big. It's a gigantic animal. It's dense. Its energy is slow, and it's like, whoom, whoom, whoom. That's me walking like an elephant. I don't know if you understand. Anyway, that energy is a low vibrational energy, right? It's, if you think about it in terms of musical instruments, it's the tuba, right? It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that doesn't really sound like a tuba, but just bear with me. But the idea is that there are these low vibrational frequencies, right? And very often in the spiritual community, they talk about the low vibrations as, these dark energies. And I'm not going to say that they don't exist, but what I'm saying is that you can have a low vibrational energy, where, a low frequency at which you exist, and that is not a reflection of anything but where you're at, your physical time and space, right? An elephant is an elephant. It's big. It moves slowly, right? That is part of what makes it up. So it has its ideal frequency. It has the things that it encounters on its journeys, on its travels, at its vibrational frequency, which is very different from that of a hummingbird, right? And the hummingbird has a very high vibrational frequency, right? Where the elephant is close to the earth, it's grounded, right? The hummingbird is flittery, and it's connected more to the air. It's fast. It vibrates really, really quickly, right? Does it make it better? No, it's just different. So I use these examples so that you can understand that your vibrational frequency is not a reflection of who you are in the sense of whether you're deserving, whether you're spiritual, whether you're high vibe or not. All right, it is just who you are. And the sooner that each of us can connect and embrace with our current frequency, then the easier it will be to make shifts and adjustments. If there's parts of your frequency that you may want to change, you may want to manage, and you can do that through these 7 channels that we talk about in the Me First method, right? And so the 7 channels are momentum, energy, focus, inner work, relationships, showing up, and trust, right? So those are the ways, those are the channels that you can tweak. And so today we're going to talk about momentum. And specifically, we're going to talk about the flow, your personal flow, and how to achieve perfect timing. All right, so let's start with our usual morning routine. Let's do our Me First morning ritual. If you're watching, and as we set things up, I've already lit my candle here today. I want to remind you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube at Me First Mornings. Go right ahead and just ding that notification bell. And you can join me every morning from Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. for more motivation and inspiration, or just, whatever stories I feel like sharing with you for the day. So thank you for subscribing, for those of you who already did. And don't forget to get your free quick reference guide. Now, this quick reference guide, it has all the things that I talk about here on the show. It talks about the Me First formula. It talks about the GPS system. It talks about the daily ABCs. So if you want just like a quick, like I said, it's called a quick reference guide for a reason. If you just want sort of like something to go to that also shares with you what we do for the Me First formula, for the Me First ritual, you can get that. Just go to bit.ly at Me First Mornings. Okay, so let's start our routine. We already lit the candle. Let's get some essential oils. Here we go. All right, I keep forgetting I have to replace this oil. And I say it every morning, you see? ADHD. All right, because once I leave here, it's gone. That smells good. All right. I'm going to take a sip of coffee using my Eggs McManus mug. He's my little skate cloud guy. You can purchase these for yourself. Probably on Eggs McManus's website, or go to Instagram. He has all the links on there on his link tree. Eggs McManus is my husband, for those of you who are watching and don't know. That is his artistic name, and he does all sorts of really awesome designs that just bring a smile to my face. And I hope they bring a smile to your face too. All right, so we have the essential oils. Now let's take a deep breath. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. I want your feet well planted on the ground, feeling the power of the earth, feeling that nurturing, loving, supportive earth, right? We are standing on the earth. The earth is literally supporting us. I want you to feel that support. At the same time, I want you to open up the top of your head and allow that liquid sunshine to just pour through, right? We are opening up to connect with the heavens, to connect with the earth. And we want that energy to flow through us, and just that healing, beautiful white light to enter into our body and fill every single part of our body, permeating all of our cells and just dissipating and dissolving any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy that no longer serves us. This is something we can ask our spirit team to do for us, is just let go of that stuck energy, of that energy that doesn't serve us. Go ahead and just release it. And we do that with our breath when we exhale. So let's do that now. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to count in for 5, hold for 5, and then when we release or exhale, we count to 10. And that is to increase the exhale, to continue to just allow ourselves to connect and to get grounded. Okay, here we go. And hold for 5. And release for 10. All right, we're going to do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in for 5, hold for 5, and then out for 10. And hold. And release. Okay, one last time. Here we go. Breathe in. And hold. And release. Okay, and now we're just going to release any tension or stuckness or stiffness that we're feeling in our bodies, right? As I remind you every morning, this Me First morning routine is something that I developed for us to do together here on the show, but you can do this on your own. You can do this at any time of day or night. You can increase each section. You can make each ritual your own, including this sort of releasing of the tension and stretching. You can make this, instead of just a little stretching routine, you can make it a whole yoga routine. It can take as long as you need to feel relief. Don't forget to breathe into those areas of tension, right? And if you're feeling pain, that is an acronym which I made up called Pay Attention Inside Now, right? If you're feeling pain, it's time to pay attention, because once it hits your physical body, it means it's already gone through all of the energetic layers, right? The energetic, the emotional, the mental. It's gone through all those layers and reached physical manifestation. So wherever you're feeling pain, it's something that you have been ignoring, something that you're not paying attention to. It is the energy that is demanding to be seen. And so you need to figure out what that is for you and start addressing it from, a spiritual, mental, and emotional level. And of course, if it's pain, you should also absolutely address it from a medical and scientific perspective as well, because it is in the physical body. And so you go to the people who know all about the physical body for that. You can go to integrative medicine, you can go regular medicine, whatever you want, right? But take care of yourself if you're in pain. Okay, don't let it get worse. Don't ignore it. Do not ignore energy that calls out to you. It is the same thing as your children calling out to you and going, Mom, 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 right? You have to eventually ask them what they want. Otherwise, they don't stop screaming and things could get crazy, right? Same thing with your body. When your body starts to scream, that is pain. Pain is your body saying, hey, stop ignoring me. Pay attention inside now. Okay, here we go. Now we shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We've done all the stretching and we're good. Now we're going to call our spiritual support team to help us to embody our intentions for the day, right? And so what are your intentions for the day? Take a moment to just think of what your GPS word is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then feel free to download my quick reference guide. Go to bit.ly/MeFirstMornings, and that will give you a little indication of what the GPS word is, or give you a little exercise so you can figure it out for yourself. But basically, what the GPS word is the feeling that you want to bring into your life, what you want to feel most, more than anything. What is it? Is it peace? Is it abundance? Is it connection? Is it resilience? Is it health? Is it, I don't know, there's like a million words that it could be. You get to decide. How do you want to feel? What is you want to feel most in your life? If you want to look at it from a lack perspective, what do you lack that you want to call in or bring in or embody more into your life? And so this is a call out to our spiritual support team, asking them to bring in whatever that GPS word is, or to guide us towards getting closer and closer to that feeling, reminding us to capture that feeling, to embody that feeling, and make choices that connect with that feeling, right? Okay. So let's call in that support team and see if they can help us with that. If you have your own spiritual or religious practice, your own prayer, please feel free to go ahead and do that and say that now for yourself at this point of the ritual. Otherwise, you can just set the intention that this prayer also applies for you. Okay, here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away all the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right, here we go. Let's talk, right? This is now we get to talk about momentum, right? So as energetic beings, we vibrate at a specific level that dictates our frequency, right? Yesterday, we talked about changing and managing that energy or that frequency. And today, let's talk about how that vibration affects your flow, right? So we talked about the elephant. We talked about the hummingbird at the beginning, right? And each of those animals vibrate at their own frequency, right? Which means they also have their own flow, right? Now, the universe has its own flow. There is a balance of the way things work. There's ebb and flow, right? Like the ocean. There's high tide, there's low tide, there's ups, there's downs, right? There's cycles. We have winter, we have spring, summer, fall, back to winter, right? Things have a flow in the way that they go. And nature, just follows this flow instinctively, right? Organically. Nature, there isn't like an elephant you're using elephants for whatever reason, but the elephant isn't like, where shall I go today to achieve my dreams, right? The elephant is not asking what to do. The elephant just goes. I'm hungry, I go to food. I, want to spend time with my family, I go here. This area isn't working for us, we all travel to the next area, right? Animals just make their decisions based on their instinct, which, we can do it, but because of our brains, right, and our thinking capacity, we overthink things. We are constantly like, oh, what should I do? I don't know. I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. All the choices, all the options. We have all the viewpoints, right? What society tells us, what our parents tell us, what our culture tells us, what we have deciphered for ourselves, the decisions that we make based on our own life experiences, right? We have all these things, right? And that stops us from getting into our flow because we're constantly second guessing ourselves. We are constantly, stopping and starting and not believing in the natural flow of our own energy, right? So we kind of got out of sync with that natural flow. Or you haven't, but I certainly feel that there are many days where I feel stuck or stagnant or completely overwhelmed and I feel like things are coming at me at 100 miles a minute. That is not a flow for me. Things happening really, really slowly. I mean, I like spaciousness, but when I feel stuck, that does not feel like flow for me. It probably doesn't feel like a flow for you. So what is your flow? What is your perfect timing, right? Because that's what really this is all about. Momentum, and what I like to talk about in terms of momentum, is really about how you move through your day, how you move through your life, and how things show up for you. And you get to decide, you get to dictate the momentum of your life. And it's easy to forget that because we're constantly being sort of fed, fast and furious advice and motivation and all sorts of stuff. As someone who talks about motivation, I understand, right? Like it's all about hustle and you got to work and you work hard, play hard, blah, 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 right? And so there is this constant pressure of trying to achieve whatever it is you're supposed to achieve according to, society, magazines, TV shows, whether we are told directly or whether it is something that we are observing from the outside or even subliminally picking up these messages because that is the message permeating, right? So we're always feeling this pressure to produce more, to act more, to take action, to stand up, to, do before you're ready, which is great advice, right? It's great advice if it resonates with you. If you read something out there that says act now before you're ready and you're like, I should, and you get up and you feel motivated to act and that works for you, then wonderful. But if you're the type of person that hears that and goes, I don't want to act, I'm not ready to act, I don't know how to act, right? I don't know which action to take, then that's okay, right? That's okay. As I said, even in nature, when something in nature is not ready, it does not bloom, right? If an animal is unsure of its safety, it does not go out and expose itself, right? If a plant if the temperature's not right, if it doesn't have enough water, if it doesn't have the right nutrients, right, it may not grow as quickly as you want it to grow because it goes at its own pace. Nature goes at its own pace, and you need to figure out what is your pace. And not only do you need to figure out what is your ideal pace, your ideal flow, like where do you function best, right? Because there's those people who have those types of personalities that are go, 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 right? Like always looking for the next thing, moving fast, gotta move, it's great, bah, bah, bah. And that's wonderful, right? So if you're that type of person, then you need to be able to function within that level, in that flow. That is your flow if that's where you feel good, right? But then there's other people that are more laid back and kind of want to take things slow and really be sure. And they're more like, easy like a Sunday morning kind of vibe, right? And that's okay too, because it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference other than the timing of how things show up for you. But let me tell you something. If you're someone that, if you really want to capture the perfect timing of things in your life, then you have to listen to that flow in yourself, right? If you're taking action and it feels too fast and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling stressed out, then the actions that you're taking may not give you the results you want because you're not in an energetic space to receive what comes your way, right? If you're taking action and you don't feel connected to that action, everything eventually starts to fall apart. It's that showing my age, but it's a popular enough, they probably made it into like a meme or something, but that, the I Love Lucy chocolate special, right? Where she's on the, they have the, the stupid moving thing. Oh, my brain's not working today. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a conveyor belt, right? They got the chocolate on the conveyor belt, and she's supposed to, this is I Love Lucy, right? Lucille Ball, who's hilarious. She picks up the balls and she's like, has to put them somewhere, and eventually the conveyor belt feels like it's moving faster. She can't keep up. She starts shoving chocolate balls everywhere, right? And she can't keep up, right? She can't do her job properly. And this happens to us energetically, right? Where we, are like, yes, I'm going to take action. I'm going to do this because that's what I'm supposed to do, right? But we continue taking this action out of pressure, out of fear, out of lack, right? Feeling like I have to do this. Otherwise it's all going to fall apart. And things fall apart anyway, because you're not in your flow, you're not in your right space, and you are receiving things that you're not prepared to receive, right? So you have to figure out what is your ideal pace. What is your ideal momentum, right? And how you do that is by establishing the boundaries around the things that you do, the action that you take, the choices that you make, right? If something doesn't feel good to you, it doesn't matter if everybody in your life thinks that you should take a certain action. You need to be clear with it for yourself. Now, I'm not talking about actions that we know are good for us and that are exciting but scary, right? Where you're afraid to take an action because it's a really big action and you're just afraid, but it's the right decision. Well, that becomes sort of feeling your own flow, right? It's back into that, when do I jump in the pool, right? Are you a 1, 2, 3 jump person? Are you a go put my legs one, bit at a time person? You get to figure that out. Right? And I've used the pool analogy before, and I'm going to use it again. Because really, when we're talking about momentum and perfect timing, at the end of the day, what is it that we want? It's our manifestations. It's the life that we desire, the things that we're looking for in life, right? And you have to connect with your own perfect flow by every day you practice maintaining the flow of what you want, right? How do you set yourself up for your day? Well, we do the Me First morning ritual, right? And then after the ritual is done, how do you go from there? What are the actions that you take? How do you take those actions? And how do you embody the person that you want to become, right? Now, you may want to start things slow, right? And just like when you're starting a new job or when you're learning anything new, it takes you a while. There's a little stop and start. You may want to go extra slow and be like, okay, I need to read this over again. I need to practice this again. I need to try again, right? All of that is okay. And then once you kind of get into the groove, once you get into the rhythm of that thing that you're working on, that thing that you're learning, or that new job that you've started, eventually you start to move a little faster, right? Because you've built confidence, because you've allowed yourself to slowly, build the skills, right? And to build on what you know. And that naturally increases your momentum towards what you want, right? So anything that you're doing in life, start slow if that's what feels good. Start fast if that's what motivates you, right? Either jump in or one toe at a time. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your journey and you get to decide how you're going to get there, right? I use the car analogy all the time too, right? You're going on a trip, right? Part of the trip is getting there, right? Is the fun you have as you're kind of heading to the trip and then experiencing the trip, and then you come home, right? And this is, you get to choose the journey that you take. You get to choose if you go sightseeing. You get to choose if you take the highway. You get to choose what music you play. You get to choose who you take with you. You have to create the conditions around the momentum that you want. What is your pace? What feels good to you? What connects with you? And don't let anyone mess with your rhythm. It is your flow. You will get there, right? Because really, momentum in life is all about, experiencing the things in your life at the pace you experience them at, right? Do you ever have a beautiful moment with somebody where you're just kind of caught up and it lingers and lasts forever? You don't want to rush that moment. You want that moment to last. You want to soak that person in. You want to feel connected. So that you want to take your time with. Well, that goes for anything in life that you really, truly want to savor and enjoy. You want to slow things down. You want to really feel into it, right? And then there's other times where you feel energized and you feel pumped and you're ready and you're like, let's go. And you're just feeling the flow of the universe and you're like, hook on, like you're on a skateboard holding onto the back of a truck and you're just like, let's go, right? You have to find what that ideal flow is for you every single day, every single decision, every single action. Everything needs to be connected to your flow, not your parents' flow, not your spouse's flow, not your kids' flow, your flow. So take some time to figure out what that is for you today. Okay. Hey, Mom. All right. That's all right. You keep packing. I'm glad you're packing. I hope you're feeling much, much better. I know we haven't chatted. My mom and I talk on our show, on the show. All right, let's see what the cards have to say to us today about momentum, because we are at the end of the show and I need to wrap up, although I keep going over. I've also been a couple minutes late, so thank you for those of you who, wait for me to come on at 10 o'clock or at 9:30. It used to be 10. All right, here we go. What do the cards have to say about momentum? Or the spirit? It's not really the cards. It's what does our spiritual support team have to say about momentum? Oh, it's ready to tell me something. Look at this, number 33. Talk about such a perfect card. Look, excuse me. Can you see the number? No, you can't see the number because I can't even see the number. The number is 33. Can we see it? Whoop. No, there we go. Okay, the number is 33, which is a fantastic number, and it's peaks of joy. peaks of joy. Now we're talking about momentum. We're talking about connecting with your flow. And the card that comes up, of course, is peaks of joy. And what is this? This is about savoring life. It's about capturing the beautiful things that happen to us, right? We're always rushing. We're always trying to get through to the next thing, to the next stage, to the next milestone, right? Especially with our children, right? We're always like, oh my goodness, they're start crawling. Let's go. When are they going to walk? Let's go. When are they going to talk? Let's go. When are they going to whatever, right? And as a mother of 3 boys, where the youngest is 10, and I have a 12 and 14-year-old, that time is gone and it went fast. Now, I'm not even going to talk about how you need to savor the moments. And yes, you need to savor the moments. However, what I really want you to pay attention to here, and this is how it connects to the peaks of joy and momentum, is that when you're always just looking for the milestone, you're not living in the present. You're not appreciating what's happening. You're not embracing what's around you. And that's where we need to slow down, where instead of just always trying to achieve, which is wonderful, and if that's what you want to do, that's fantastic, but don't forget to savor your wins. Don't forget to savor your losses. Sometimes when things don't work out and when you have a miserable experience, that story, that experience, that tale is one you tell over and over again, because it will become the anchor for your resilience. It will become something that you can look back at, potentially even nostalgically one day, where it's like, oh my God, do you remember when we could barely scrape 2 pennies together and we were eating ramen noodles? Do you remember that? Right? And you can then kind of look back and see how far you've come. When you are in those moments of despair or challenge, reach out to the people in your life that you love, that are important to you, and try to savor those moments. Try to hold each other in those moments, because even those challenging moments of deep despair, they have so much healing in them. And we tend to dismiss the grieving and the healing process that's necessary to happen in order for us to move on. In order for us to create momentum in our lives, we need to create space for the things and experiences that need to be seen, that need to be addressed, that need to be felt, right? So allow yourself to feel your life, the highs, the lows, feel them. Reach out and connect with people and create memories and moments around your tough times as well as your good times. And when you do that, you will see that life just organically flows, because you're appreciating everything that you can appreciate about each and every moment. And as someone who's been through a freaking hell of a lot of shitty times this year, I can tell you that there are moments where savoring that time is all you have. And sometimes things get worse from that moment. Sometimes things get better and you really don't know. And they flow, right? It gets better and then things get worse, and then you're doing great and then you struggle, and that's life. So if you don't truly appreciate, embrace, and take stock of your current present situation, your present moment, your present experiences, you're going to find that you've missed out on life just trying to jump forward to the next thing. So when we're talking about momentum and perfect timing, the key is for you to find your perfect rhythm with life, for you to be able to appreciate it and live in it and not have any regrets about your life at the end. Now, I say that and I don't have any regrets. I'm sure there's a lot of things in my life I wish I hadn't experienced. But when each and every day and each and every moment, you know that you're doing the best that you can, and that you're giving yourself the time and the grace and the compassion to create a flow that works for you with your energy in each and every moment, which can change, well then you figured out the secret to life, because that's all it is. We're here to experience things. And so you get to choose how you want to experience your life. And you get to do that by setting the momentum that is right for you. All right. That's it for today. I've gone over. Thank you for your patience. Don't forget, I'm here every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to @MeFirstMornings and ding that notification bell so that you can join me every single morning. I will be back tomorrow. And please, if you're watching and you find that this was helpful in any way, I ask you to spread the word. I ask you to send the link to friends. Invite people to come and watch with you. And if you need me or you need support in any of the stuff that I've been talking about, please feel free to send me a private message and we will find a time to talk and work on that together. All right, so don't forget, you are the light. Keep shining. I love you all. Bye-bye.